Today's date is April 3rd, 2012. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm going to give you an example of what remote neural monitoring is all about. I just got done making a 12-minute video file, and I shut it off, and the whole file wasn't there. And that capability is described directly in the remote neural monitoring file. Now, I got it on digital audio file, though, that I made it, and so what I'm going to do is transfer it. And hopefully we'll see how well it's distinguishable in reference to being able to clearly be able to hear it, because I got a lot of traffic going by. So I'm going to attempt to remake it now. And okay, remote neural monitoring. What is remote neural monitoring influencing and stimulating? I'm in San Diego, California right now, and the reason why I'm making this digital well, this is a digital audio file, but the reason why I'm making this video file is to inform the public about who I am, and about what's happening to me in my life, and what's happening to hundreds of thousands of Americans right now in real time. There's a technology called remote neural monitoring, and the reason why I make this video file is because I care about this. Look, if you had any idea what's been happening to me in my life, at least since 1986, at least, hang on a second. A lot of cars going by. It's hard to hear me when the cars are going by. Anyways, look, I'm not some kind of busybody where I can't keep my own, nose in my own business and go about my day and want to be able to just get in everybody's business and expose the corruption that's going on, and that's not me. I'm going to tell you why I do what I do. And at least since 1986, my life has been totally 100% compromised as a result of this remote neural monitoring. And it's being used towards people from outside their homes, and they have no idea. Okay? Now, in 1986, I moved into Dearborn, Michigan. Yeah, and Dearborn, Michigan is an extremely well-upkept suburb. It's home of Henry Ford, Oakwood Medical Centers and hospitals, a huge auto industry. Ford World Headquarters is right across the street from the Dearborn Police Station. And so they got a high tax base. They also got to have a university and some community colleges. It's a well-kept-up city. It's also the city that's got the highest, largest concentrated Muslim population in the whole United States. And the reason I'm just, making a tidbit in reference to that point. My name is Leslie Williams. I moved into Dearborn, Michigan in 1986, right after I filed for a divorce from my ex-husband. And the reason why I'm making this video file is to help people understand that the people that have this technology are using it towards innocent people from a remote distance outside of your home. This technology can make you angry, it can make you nervous, it can make you have panic attacks, it can make you feel depression, and I'm talking about depression at extremely low levels. It can make you sexually excited, and this is just one small aspect of this technology. Now, if your life is if you all of a sudden have a lot of bad luck, you lose a job, and as a result you can't pay rent. 2 days before that all happened, you got an automobile accident and lost your car. Then you lost your job, and how are you going to pay rent? Okay? And what if they might even be possibly, let me tell you something right now. Do you really think remote neural monitoring is only being used on me? Would they possibly use it on a landlord as well? All you have to do is go to Google and type in organized stalking and remote neural monitoring. Organized stalking and gang stalking and remote neural monitoring. Organized stalking, gang stalking, electronic harassment. There's a remote neural monitoring PDF file online right now, and in the remote neural monitoring PDF file it talks about the computer-to-brain link. And the computer-to-brain link is nothing but the computer-to-brain feedback loop. If you go to YouTube and type in electronic harassment, and then look at the Mars Boy YouTube channel videos in reference to electronic harassment, you'll be able to even hear him state about how they use the computer-to-brain feedback loop on targets. And how does electronic harassment and the computer-to-brain feedback loop work together? They remotely neurally monitor your evoked potentials. It's one computer network that's got 3 capabilities. Well, it's got about 5 capabilities in it at least. The computer-to-brain feedback loop, the actual remote neural monitor, the electronic harassment, which has 3 extensions to it, which is the microwave auditory effect, scalar projected audible distinguishable signals, and voice to skull, which is known as V2K. And and that is what comprises just the one arm of electronic harassment. Now we have the computer-to-brain link, which means that the computer is what the remote neural monitoring is set up in, and the electronic harassment technology is set up within this computer. So the computer-to-brain link means that the brain is connected to the remote neural monitoring that's in the computer. Okay? Now the remote neural monitoring, the computer-to-brain link, and the electronic harassment are all connected in one network. And this is done to remotely neurally monitor a target, and then to harass a target using the electronic harassment capabilities that is attached within the computers based on what the computer is monitoring in relation to the brain. The computer-to-brain feedback loop. And now when we see how the computer-to-brain is connected together in reference to these expeditions, computer-to-brain link is not mentioned in the remote neural monitoring file for no reason. And then when we look at the electronic harassment and how the electronic harassment is always subjected towards a target of organized stalking, then we got the organized stalkers they put along your path. Understand this and be clear. I've already proved that I'm a target of this crime here in San Diego. It's all over YouTube. So all we have to do is scrutinize the information and be able to meticulously look at the capabilities of them, and then think to yourself, why is this happening towards this woman? Do you really believe that it's happening towards this woman for no reason? I think not. What they're capable of doing, and what they do is use all this technology and harassment from you towards you from a distance. So you have no. How can you fight a frequency? How can you identify who's controlling it if you don't see it, because what they're projecting towards you from a remote distance using frequencies? How can you identify the perpetrators? One of the only ways that you can really connect back to these people in reference to identifying them is to try and expose the connected police officers who cover the crime up, who won't take a police report, and to expose anything that an organized stalker might do towards you along your route. Okay? And that's a beginning. That's a template that targets can use. But I'm going to help you understand something. Now, this technology has got stimulating and influencing capabilities connected to it. How does that work? Hang on. Well, I'm going to give you an example about how it works. And I want you to remember something, fellow people who look at my videos and read my blogs. I know for a little fact, because things have been discovered over time. This open expedition started towards me since 2002 up until this little date. As a result of what I've experienced and discovered between 2002 and 2012, 10 full years now, I've discovered that this has been going on in my life at least since 1983 in reference to them sabotaging my adult life. Okay? At least. It was happening towards me when I was a military wife out here in 83, from 83 to late 84. So what we have to understand here is that when we see the capabilities of this technology, then we can understand what's happened towards me. Now, I'm going to give you an example about how this technology works. Pay attention, because this applies to everybody. Again, remember, what happened to me in an extremely affluent suburb. Okay? Including by the people who made sure that it kept going, were 100% upstanding citizens, elders of churches. And the guy was a mechanical engineer with his wife. He lived in another affluent neighborhood. Okay? So I want you to understand something. The people that are in cahoots, that are working together in the organized crime expedition, are people from suburbs as well. Okay? Now, I'm not knocking anybody that lives in a suburb. That's the last thing I'm doing. I make these videos for everybody so they can understand what's happening and could happen to them from organized crime that is in the area, in the community. It doesn't matter if you're in the inner city or in the suburbs. Let me tell you something right now. When these people aren't going after, you really honestly think that they're going to go after targets in the inner city? What kind of people have money in the inner city? Okay? They only go after the people in the inner city that might be making money from organized crime in order to be able to cancel out the competition. This is mostly happening towards people in the suburbs and in rural areas because of what they got, their property, their mortgage, the equity of their mortgages, their land. Yeah, trust fund liquidation, mortgage co-opting, land co-opting. And they tear apart your family's life to be able to make sure you can't fight back. And all that can be explained in other video files, and it will be over time. Let me give you an example of how this technology, how powerful it is. Alright, this is gonna be a story, but the story is totally 100% exacting and relative to how they use it. Say if you got a good job and you go on a vacation and you got a friend that comes over and says, let's go, whether it's a real friend or an organized stalker that's infiltrated your life through friendly means. Think about this. Oh shit, I gotta stop this video. Look at the YouTube video in the comments feature of this one, because my bus is coming, so I can't, it's got to do with neural networks. Just watch it and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about.